Hi, I'm Liam. Have you ever wondered why Americans say apartment, while British people say flat?
Hi, I'm Sophia. And here's the fun part. Both are correct. But which differences actually matter when you speak English?
Today, we're going to discover the real differences between American and British English without making it complicated.
We'll look at words, pronunciation, spelling, and real-life conversations. You'll also learn which English you should focus on.
So, American or British English, which one is better? Stay with us and let's find out.
Thanks, Liam.
Liam, thanks Sophia, and thanks everyone for listening. Let's begin.
Hi, I'm Sophia. Let's start with something interesting. Have you ever heard an American and a British person having a conversation and suddenly thought, wait, are they both speaking English? You understand the sentence, but one or two words sound completely different. That's one of the most interesting things about English. It's the same language, but people in different countries can use different words, sounds, and expressions. One of the easiest examples is apartment and flat in American English. People usually say, I live in an apartment in British English. You're more likely to hear, I live in a flat. The meaning is exactly the same. Nobody is wrong. They're simply using different varieties of English. Another common example is elevator and lift. Imagine you're visiting New York and you ask someone, where is the elevator? They'll probably understand immediately. But if you travel to London and ask for the lift, you'll hear the same idea expressed with a different word. There's also vacation and holiday, Americans commonly say. I'm going on vacation next week, British speakers often say. I'm going on holiday next week. Again, the meaning is almost the same. Now, here's something important for English learners. You don't have to memorize every single difference between American and British English before you start speaking. That can actually make learning more stressful. Instead, focus on understanding the most common differences and becoming comfortable with both. You might hear truck in American English and lorry in British English. You might hear cookie of American English and biscuit in British English. You might hear soccer in American and English and football in British English. At first, these differences can feel confusing. But after hearing them several times, your brain starts recognizing them naturally. And there's something even more interesting. Sometimes the difference isn't the word itself, it's the pronunciation. An American speaker might pronounce a word differently from a British speaker. The rhythm can change. Some sounds can be stronger or softer, and certain words can sound completely different. But don't let that scare you. Your goal is not to copy every American or every British accent perfectly. Your goal is to communicate clearly and understand other people. Think about it this way. If you learn one variety of English, that's great. But if you train your ears to recognize different varieties, your English becomes much more powerful. You could be talking to someone from California in the morning, someone from London in the afternoon, and someone from Australia in the evening. They may all speak English differently, but you can still understand them. That's why learning the differences between American and British English is not about choosing a winner. It's about becoming a better English listener and speaker.
Hi, I'm Liam. Now let's talk about one of the biggest differences between American and British English pronunciation. When you hear an American and a British person say the same sentence, you might notice that the words sound different, even when the vocabulary is exactly the same. For example, listen to the word water. An American speaker may pronounce it more like Washingtoner, while a British speaker may pronounce the T more clearly. Water. The difference can be small, but when you hear a full conversation, you can definitely notice it. Another interesting example is schedule. In American English, you'll often hear schedule. In British English, you may hear schedule. Double quote, same word, different pronunciation. Then there's the famous R sound. In many American accents, the R is clearly pronounced. For example, car sounds like car. In many British accents, especially traditional Southern British pronunciation, the final R may not be strongly pronounced, so car can sound more like car. But here's something important. British English does not have just one accent. And American English does not have just one accent either. Someone from London can sound very different from someone from Manchester. Someone from New York can sound different from someone from Texas or California. So when you hear a different accent, don't immediately think their English is wrong. It isn't wrong. It's simply different English pronunciation. As an English learner, you don't need to copy every accent you hear. Instead, train your ears. Listen to American podcasts. Listen to British interviews. Watch movies from both countries. Pay attention to how the same words sound. At first, you may understand one accent better than the other. That's completely normal. But the more you listen, the easier it becomes. And eventually, you'll hear someone speaking and think, "That sounds American," or "That sounds British." That's when you know your listening skills are getting stronger. So remember, different pronunciation doesn't mean different English. It simply means English has many voices. And learning to understand those voices can make you a much stronger English speaker.
Hi, I'm Sophia. Let's talk about one of the most interesting differences between American and British English, vocabulary. Sometimes Americans and British people use completely different words for the same thing. And this can be confusing for English learners. Imagine you're in the United States and you need to buy some food. You might ask, "Where is the grocery store?" But if you're in Britain, you might hear someone say, "supermarket." The idea is similar, but the word changes. Another fun example is pants. In American English, pants usually means the clothes you wear on your legs. But in British English, pants can mean underwear. British people often use trousers for what Americans call pants. Now imagine you're traveling and you need to take a bus. In both countries, you can say bus so that one is easy, but when you go to a restaurant, you might notice another difference. Americans often ask for the check, while British people commonly ask for the bill. Then we have fries and chips in American English. You might order French fries. In British English, you're more likely to order chips. But be careful, British chips are not exactly the same as American chips. In the United States, chips usually means thin, crispy potato snacks, while British crisps are what Americans call chips. Sounds confusing? Don't worry. After you hear these words in real conversations a few times, they become much easier. There are many more examples. Americans say cookie, while British people often say biscuit. Americans say candy, while British people usually say sweets. Americans say truck, while British people often say lorry. Americans say vacation, while British people commonly say holiday. The important thing is that these differences don't mean you need to learn English twice. You simply need to recognize both versions. If you say vacation to a British person, they will probably understand you. If you say holiday to an American, they will understand you too. That's the beauty of English. It changes depending on where people live, but people can still communicate. So don't be afraid when you hear a new word. Instead of thinking, "My English is bad," think, "Interesting, this is another way to say it." The more versions you understand, the more comfortable you'll become speaking with people from around the world. And that is what really matters, not speaking perfect American English or perfect British English, but being able to understand people and make yourself understood.
Hi, I'm Liam. Now let's look at something you can actually see when you read American and British English spelling. You might write a word one way, and someone from another country might write it slightly differently, but both versions can be correct. Take the word color. In American English, it's usually spelled C-O-L-O-R, color. In British English, it's commonly spelled C-O-L-O-U-R, color. That extra you might look small, but it's one of the easiest ways to notice the difference. Here's another example. Favorite in American English and favorite in British English. Again, the British version has an extra U. You'll see the same pattern with words like honor and honor, or behavior and behavior. But the differences don't stop there. Some words ending in American English can be written with re in British English. For example, Americans usually write center, while British English commonly uses center. Americans write theater, while British English often writes theater. At first, these differences might make you think you made a spelling mistake. But if you're reading British English and see center, don't worry. It isn't wrong. And if you see center in American English, that isn't wrong either. There are also words where the spelling changes more noticeably. For example, Americans usually write traveling with one L, while British English often uses traveling with two Ls. Another example is cancelled in American English and cancelled in British English. So, which spelling should you use? The simple answer is choose one style and be consistent. If you're writing for an American audience, American spelling may be more appropriate. If you're writing for a British audience, British spelling may make more sense. But if you're simply learning English, don't waste too much time worrying about one extra letter. When you see color and color, understand that they mean exactly the same thing. When you see favorite and favorite, understand that they mean exactly the same thing. The goal is not to become a spelling expert in two different systems. The goal is to recognize the difference without getting confused. And once you understand that, something interesting happens. Those little spelling differences stop looking like mistakes and start looking like clues. You begin to recognize where a text might come from. American English, maybe color, center, favorite. British English, maybe color, center, favorite. Different spelling, same language, same meaning. And that's what makes English so interesting.
Hi, I'm Sophia. After seeing all these differences, you might be asking the biggest question: should I learn American English or British English? The answer is much simpler than you might think. If your goal is to speak English confidently, you don't need to worry about choosing the perfect English. American English and British English are both correct. What matters most is that people can understand you and you can understand them. If you watch a lot of American movies, listen to American podcasts, or plan to study or work in the United States, learning American English may feel more natural for you. But if you enjoy British movies, follow British creators, or plan to study or work in the United Kingdom, British English might be the better choice. And here's the good news: you can understand both without speaking both perfectly. You might use the American word apartment while easily understanding the British word flat. You might say vacation, but understand holiday. You might write color, but recognize color immediately. That is actually a powerful English skill. You're not limited to one version of English. You're learning a language that is spoken by people all over the world. And remember, even native speakers don't all sound the same. An American from California can sound very different from an American from New York. A British speaker from London can sound very different from someone from Scotland. So don't become obsessed with sounding exactly like a native speaker from one specific country. Instead, focus on three things: clear pronunciation, useful vocabulary, and confidence. If people understand you, you're doing well. If you understand different accents, you're becoming an even stronger listener. And if you can have a natural conversation without constantly worrying about mistakes, that's when your English really starts to work for you. So whether you choose American English, British English, or a combination of both, remember one thing: English belongs to everyone who uses it. Learn the version you enjoy, understand the differences, and keep speaking. Because the best English is not the one that sounds perfect. It's the one that helps you communicate.
Hi, I'm Liam. We've talked about vocabulary, pronunciation, spelling, and accents. But now let's answer the biggest question: what actually matters? The truth is, American and British English have many differences, but most of them don't stop people from communicating. You might say apartment, and someone else might say flat. You might say vacation, while someone else says holiday. You might pronounce a word differently or spell it with an extra letter, but the message can still be perfectly clear. What really matters is communication. Don't spend years worrying about whether your English sounds American enough or British enough. Focus on speaking clearly, understanding different accents, learning useful expressions, and becoming confident. And don't be afraid when you hear an unfamiliar word. Instead of thinking, I don't understand English, ask yourself, is this simply another way of saying something I already know? That small change in your mindset can make learning much easier. English is spoken in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Africa, Asia, Europe, and many other parts of the world. Every place adds something different to the language. So your English doesn't have to sound exactly like someone from London or New York. It should sound clear, natural, and confident. If you understand both American and British English, you have an advantage. You can watch more content, understand more people, and communicate with a much wider audience. So remember the three most important things: understand, communicate, and keep practicing. American English isn't better. British English isn't better. Your goal is better English, and that is what actually matters. Thanks for listening, and keep speaking English every day.